You ended up getting into the construction business, and
well, how that happened was
yeah.
As a kid, you want to go to work as a kid, or later on, guys come out of jail. We had a lot of unions, so they were like hollering holes for people in need or wanted a job. As a kid, I went to work for Local 23, which was a laborers union. They were with the Gambino family forever, and their family, Jardinas. And then later on, I got involved with the Teamsters to Gravano after Paul gets killed. And they killed DiLeonardo. Sammy has the union, has the Teamsters, and I get a job through Sammy. So I was a Teamster for a while also. So when Sammy flips, right? So when Sammy flips in 91, November 91, John Gotti, at one point, probably 92, he was locked up in MCC still, tells Jackie Knows, who's going up to visit his brother Pete, that I want Michael to take over what Sammy had in the construction business. And he says, and Eddie Garofalo, which was Sammy's brother-in-law, was helping Sammy run all the construction in New York. The message was, there's a pretty good message, really a little funny. I guess, and that's funny now, but then it wasn't. He comes down with Jackie, and I drove Jackie up to MCC to see John in jail.
Yeah.
And he says, I got good news for you. He says, John wants you to handle all the construction for our family. Unions, et cetera, concrete, et cetera. So I'm looking at him saying, Sammy just flipped. Jail sentence. Yeah. Prison sentence. Okay. He said, okay, thank you very much. He says, well, one thing. He says, you go find Eddie right now. Tell Eddie, if any one of you fuck up, you rob any money, you screw up, we're killing the both of you. Mm-hmm. So I look up and say, that's another good thing. I thought we were going to get good news here.
Really?
So,
no pressure.
So that's how I wound up with the construction business, was John Gotti appointed to that.
Wow. So when Sammy flipped, he either didn't talk about you, or he didn't really have anything that he could talk about on you, or something.
Yeah. He must have forgot to put me in a murder and a murder conspiracy.
Oh wow.
He must have forgot. And the construction stuff, whatever they knew a little bit about the construction and me being involved in 282.
Yeah.
That was very minimal. Sammy really, I guess, protected me and shielded me.
Yeah.
With a lot of other guys in his crew, but and I guess I knew Sammy since a little boy.
Yeah.
So, and I was very, very close with Sam. Not that if you were close with Sam, he wouldn't kill you.
Yeah.
He did. He killed a lot of his friends. But for one reason or another, that's a conversation for another day, I guess. I was very close, and Sammy had left me on a lot of stuff. So at that, at that period of time, you don't know when the DFI's going to come and lock you up. So, you play day by day, at that time.
Yeah.
You figure, then his material comes out when he starts cases, and you start going through the stuff and say, hey, he left me out of this. Wow,
yeah.
He left me out of a murder. You left me out of this murder conspiracy. We went to go kill a guy. And, still a conspiracy to murder.
Yeah.
But you left me out of that one. And you look at a little bit of construction, maybe a little Shylock and a little this and that. Nothing. Come and get me. I won't even take my socks off for those counts.
Yeah.
And you want to arrest me for it. So which never transpired. And along with about 8 or 9 other guys in his personal crew that never went to jail from him.
Yeah.
And protected,
and the government
protected. Either way, I wasn't there to say there was a protection or not protection. But they never went to jail.
Yeah. The government wanted Gotti so bad. I think they put all their resources into that, and probably didn't care so much about spinning out into other things at that point in time. And Sammy probably, he probably indicated certain people he didn't want to do anything to. But I'll give you the big guy, and we all make deals with the devil in one way or the other in our lives. And
what the government really got out of Sammy was twofold. They didn't need Sammy for John.
Yeah.
They didn't need Sammy for Sammy. They were all dead from John's tapes in the radio.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
What he does, he's able to give you the inner workings of everything in our family and the rest of the families, of unions, murders, who's who, who's what, where they sit on the map, who's the pecking order.
Yeah.
On all the cases that were made after John, because John was dead. Everybody says Sammy put John away. No, John put John away with his mouth. He was gone.
Yeah.
Sammy just used an escape route.
Yeah.
For himself to get out from listening to those tapes.
Yeah.
Now, John on those tapes, he's lobbying Frankie Lucasio to kill Sammy. There's no question.
Yeah.
But when Sammy heard that was his escape route. It was an easy route for him to say, "Fuck this, I'm out."
Yeah.
This guy was looking to clip me. So anyway,
You know what?
Sammy hurt the rest of the world, but he hurt the rest of the world through John's mouth, who opened up the Pandora's box.
Yeah. Let me, like an example, let me tell you this one story and ask you if you even knew anything about this. One thing Sammy gave up, he gave up a really valuable connection that Gotti had and could have passed along to others into the New York City Police Department, the intelligence unit even. This guy named, I think it was William Piest, P-I-E-S-T. I got a friend of mine here in Kansas City that actually I worked on about 20 years ago. I worked on him and followed him, and he ended up catching the case and did about 10 years. And he came back out, got in the used car business, and we got hooked up in the last year or so. And hell, we meet for coffee about once a week anymore. And he was telling me this story about a guy he was in, I think maybe Yankton with a guy named William Piest, who was a New York City detective, and he went down because he had been informant to John Gotti, and I'd never heard that story before. Yeah. And Gravano, as I checked into it, I found out Gravano gave him up, and they caught him dirty. They already had a lot of information, but they didn't have that final little piece that would put it together, and Gravano put that together for him. And this guy, he had an interesting story. I did a whole podcast on it, so you guys out there have to go back and listen to that podcast about the Gotti's informant, I think is the title of it. But that was a really valuable connection. That guy was providing him everything.
Enforcement, yep. And there was also the woman in the U.S. Attorney's office.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
So
yeah,
he did a lot of damage.
Yeah.
In other areas. That's what I needed Sam, because he was a wealth of knowledge, and he was abreast, I would say, of 90% of the things that were going on in the city, just about every family. He was a wealth of knowledge.
In that...
because he was a very trusted figure. Sammy was loved.
Yeah, I can see that.
After a while, he started killing everybody. All his own friends started to wane a little. People started to say, oh, but a lot of people love Sammy. Yeah, no question.
Kind of a funny story about him in that one article I read about Piest is the FBI agent that kind of took him away that day from MCC. Sammy asked him, he said, well, where are you from? And he said, well, I'm from Iowa. And he said, sardonically, I would say, he said, if I'm going to start trusting an FBI agent, it might as well be one from Iowa. I just thought, like here in the Midwest, we kind of have this homespun, corn-fed, Square John kind of a Dudley Do-Right kind of a reputation, which I don't buy. That's how I am. So I thought that was interesting. That if you're going to trust anybody in the FBI, it should be somebody from Iowa.
Yeah, well, you know what? Because there's no the mentality. There's no Italians there. There's no OC really.
Yeah.
There's no, so I'm safe.
Yeah.
Peace of mind.
Yeah. There you go. So anyhow,
he knows how to corrupt. He knows what corruption comes out of New York, Chicago.
Yeah. Oh God, I know.
So you trust those guys.
Yeah, I understand. Let's see, where are we at? We are coming down here closer to the end of before you catch a pretty important case here. Several cases, it looks like. I see. And I have one. I have a question. We have a local story here. You were extorting cash from Scores, a strip club, supposedly, and we had one of our local guys. He hired a couple of guys to put a stick of dynamite underneath the strip club's owner's car and just set it off without him there. And then he was going to come back around and say, hey, these guys, I got these two guys that are really mad at you. And, I can probably take care of that. But, we're going to have to work something out here. and you didn't do anything like that, did you?
No. No need. In New York, it's between the construction. They call it construction extortion, but we didn't extort anybody. We worked hand in glove with the contractors.
Yeah.
So the government wasn't happy that I had that position on that because everybody made money.
Yeah, you were all making money.
When I started, it was that wasn't in place.
Yeah.
So what Scores in the Gold Club in Atlanta, which is Stevie Capital, which me, John Jr. put in with me. I was with several other people before they died, were murdered. And then later on, he wound up in my lap, a real good Jewish kid, who had the Gold Club in Atlanta. Yeah. And I was involved in that. I was arrested in that case. The government brought me down for a token Italian mobster to dirty up the case.
I see.
And, so I wound up getting acquitted in that. And if you ever go through that case, you can make a movie there, whether it be a comedy, satirical, or whatever. It would be a great movie because the things that went on in that case were unheard of. I got acquitted there. Just about the whole office there had to resign. And I left in Northern District of Georgia in Atlanta.
I'll have to look that one up.
Later on, I knew I was going to get arrested within a year. I told my lawyer, get ready, and several other people get arrested again. The government ain't going to put up with me beating the case on a major case like that. It was the biggest case in the country at the time. There was Patrick Ewing, basketball players, Andrew Jones, a baseball player, showed up. They were going to subpoena the King of Norway. He was on the list.
Oh, really?
I mean, had all kinds of athletes and wrestlers, and Madonna was on the list. They had all kinds of people that were called. The judge really tried to discourage the prosecution from keep calling these witnesses. They had over 100 witnesses on a sex case.
Yeah.
And then again, putting the New York mobster in there, trying to put color in it. But I wound up beating the case. I got acquitted. I won a miracle in the South, which I was told by the prosecutor, the reason why I brought you down here is you're in the Bible Belt. You're never going to win down here. Oh, yeah? I said, so I dug my heels in with him.
Yeah.
And that was it. I got lucky.
Yeah.
So then a year later, I got arrested in this other case, a murder case that I did not participate in. I conspired it. But through certain federal laws, you could this conspiracy gets grand and wide ranging and overarching.
Oh yeah, that RICO statute, man, that thing has just decimated mob families.
Yeah, and that's what I got caught up into. And from a conspiracy, which I was definitely involved in the conspiracy, digging holes, etc., waiting for the guy to show up, and he don't show up.
Yeah.
Somebody's supposed to get this guy and bring him to the house and kill him. But then it was dropped, and about a week, 10 days later or so, the Jersey family, the Cavalcanti family guys, wound up killing him. John embarrassed the boss there because the guy who was supposed to bring him in was one of their members.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy made believe he couldn't find him. That's what we thought. He didn't get killed by our hand. The Jersey guys. So anyway, they put together this case. A lot of the Jersey guys flipped. And they even though I never did anything with those guys in the case, the government had them say, well, I shouldn't say it like that.
I know, but it probably feels like it.
Indicted me along with some other guys in my family on the word of these Jersey guys.
Yeah.
Which I never did anything with, zero. So they were expert on me and everybody else. So, that's how I wound up in that case. And later on, we'll let me flipping in it.
Yeah, that's what I understand is when you're in the joint, did you actually get a sentence, or were you still?
I was arrested June 20th, denied bail in August, and I flipped somewhere in, I would say, late November.
Yeah.
With when I got locked up, I had a lot of money in the stock market. I had stock market guys. Construction, my own businesses, and everything else going on. We're doing pretty well for myself.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I got one other question about that stock market thing. I jokingly said you guys dealt in stocks and bonds. Didn't I read somewhere where you're involved in a pump and dump stock scam? Yep.
I had, not me personally. I wouldn't know what to do with stocks. I'm not a stock guy.
Yeah.
But I had guys around me. Associates around me that I had involved in the stock market that were doing big numbers, pumping and dumping, promoting these stocks, and then with calls on phones, calling all over the world, not even the country, taking their money in shell companies and taking their money and just pulling the plug on it.
Yeah.
And then people lose their money. And that was really prevalent in all 6 families, including the Jersey family in New York. There was hundreds of, probably, I don't know how many. There was guys going in clubs throwing 60,000 in scores, throwing it up in the air, just like making it rain. That's saying making it rain. 60,000.
Wow.
There was so much money being made.
Yeah.
So they really manipulated the market until the government came in and crushed everybody.
I noticed
but,
that.
I was involved in that through some associates of mine, and we made some money.
Yeah,
sure.
I noticed that the Sopranos did a kind of a short 2 or 3 episodes around them being involved in a guy doing a pump and dump thing. So they like that stuff ripped from the real life. Everything about that show, I don't know if you ever watched it, but you probably look at it like I watch police shows. You probably watch the Sopranos like I watch police shows. But
I'll give you a little story with the Sopranos. I watched very few episodes, and I'll tell you why. There was one episode, Tony Sirico plays Paulie Walnuts. It's from my neighborhood.
No, yeah.
Right? And so is the Shripper and a couple of the other guys. They're from my neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I don't know this guy, Paulie Sirico. What's his name? His real name, Paulie is Sirico, isn't it? Tony Sirico.
I think so, yeah.
Tony Sirico?
I can't
Excuse
remember.
me for not knowing the first name. I guess I drew a blank on him. But what happened was there was one episode that I watched. I started watching the beginning just to see, because I was hearing that, they were modeling over the Jersey family and all that, because the Jersey guys got caught on tape from a cooperator talking about that the Sopranos were based on them, and they were giggling over it. I don't know.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
So there was this one episode where one of the wives was looking to screw the priest.
Oh yeah.
You remember that episode?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
That really made me bristle.
Yeah. I was.
You could talk about Italians all day long. Now you want to see our wives want to fuck a priest.
Yeah. That was a bit far. Yeah.
Chase, I found out after that was Italian.
Yeah.
And I'd put word out, if anybody finds this Sirico walking around the neighborhood, you bring him to me. Because I was going to put him on the spot, and you go tell that prick, excuse my language.
Yeah.
You better stop that shit.
Yeah,
so,
really.
You talk about us what you want.
Yeah.
Talk about Italians. We're open. We're open. We're open for attack by anybody. But do not tell our wives to fuck a priest. That was low.
Yeah, that was. I remember thinking.
That's why I really never watched that show.
Yeah, that was a bridge too far. I always thought a lot of the stuff. I look at things and judge it by the reality of it, and I know a little bit about it, and that was a bridge too far. I knew that, and I don't like it when they go into unreality.
Yeah. Believe me, I'm not a real religious guy. I'm Catholic. You know what I mean? I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I believe in all that stuff. So nice. I don't believe in the church. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
That's a money machine. But, that's, like you said, a bridge too far is a good way to put it.
Yeah. So anyhow, you're in jail, and they send word to you that you're not part of it anymore.
Yeah, well, what happened was I was having a little issues on the outside with the new administration, because when I was on trial, I beat my case August 30th. Of 2001. During the course of that, they put a new administration in place, boss, underboss, and conseiller. I was offered a couple of years earlier by John Gotti, who was away at the time, to his brother Pete, for me to be conseiller of the family, and I declined, which was probably a mistake in hindsight. I probably wouldn't be here today if I accepted it.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I declined for a lot of reasons, and maybe we could talk about that another time. It's a long way winded one. So when this new administration's in place, the conseiller they picked was a guy from Canarsie. And those guys really don't like guys from Bensonhurst, especially me.
Yeah.
I had a lot of clout. I had really tight with the old timers. I was really tight with the Sicilians. I articulated my ancestry before, so they were really, like an adversary with Bensonhurst guys. So anyway, when this new administration gets in place, the rules change. Everything starts to change. And I beat my case, which was a miracle. Nobody thought I was beating the case. Everybody thought I was getting convicted in Atlanta. Who's going to win in Atlanta?
Yeah.
But a miracle happened. I got acquitted. So when I come home, it's all these little beefs that I got to start fielding with these guys. This new administration.
Yeah. So
Pete Gotti had to almost sell me out with this one thing about the stock market. And I was pretty pissed off at him, and I went to see him over it, and I told him that. So Pete gets arrested. And Pete says, that don't mean nothing anyway. So Pete gets arrested. And I get arrested 2 weeks later in June.
Yeah.
So before all this stuff is really, this beef that I was talking about, the stock market, is fixed. So as I'm sitting in jail, in the holding in MCC, my girlfriend at the time, it was about 2 or 3 weeks before they allowed her to come up. They were screwing with my visiting list. Well, I couldn't even make phone calls. Anyway, she finally comes up. You try to talk there, say, anybody come around? Give you money? It didn't start so many times. She says, no.
Yeah.
I go, what do you mean, no? I mean, nobody came around. What do you mean nobody came around? I got 3 tattoo parlors. I got trucking business. I got this. I got a lot of things going on. Shylock business, you know. Now I get on the phone. I call my ex-wife. They talk to my son.
Yeah.
My first son for a previous marriage, you know, and she's pissed off. No money, this and that. What, no money? What do you mean no money? They always bring anything. I'm saying to myself, you know, what do you mean no? So I start getting my partner because I don't have any visitors outside of my girlfriend because she allowed one friend. I got no blood relatives to come up that's a relative.
Yeah.
You understand? The MCC only had one friend. And Madeline, being she was my girlfriend, not my wife at the time, come up with a little boy. He was just 2 years old. You know, I ain't giving her any messages to bring out. No way. So now I had to go through lawyers, you know, write letters, put them sealed letters and tell the lawyer, go give this to what's his name and burn the letter or tear it up to a million pieces after he's finished reading it. Right? So there's no evidence out there. You know? And then the message I would be getting back is, you know, you got nothing coming. Eddie Garofalo, my partner, was arrested with me, and that was Sammy Gravano's brother-in-law.
Yeah.
So we're arrested in this case with a couple other guys. My brother-in-law from the first marriage is arrested with me, and Sammy's the guy who appointed captain, Louis Valerio, since I know I was born, he was arrested with me. Just about whatever crew I had in the street left, besides because I had other guys that went to prison before that.
Yeah.
You know, my whole crew was wiped off the street before, and then now when we're all arrested together. These questions I'm getting, these answers I'm getting back to some of the questions. Where's my money? What's going on out there? You know.
Yeah.
So I get a message through Eddie. Because Eddie's son comes up, and Eddie sent a message through his son to go see a wise guy, Thomas Carbonara, and tell him if his hands are tied and the son's going on, I want to know.
Yeah.
He sends back a message. Yeah, tell Michael his hands are tied. Mother. You know, now I started saying, what's going on out there? You shut me out? My ex-wife's telling me on the phone she don't have enough money to pay electric bill. Yeah. Madeline's got the little kid over here. Nobody's bringing any money to the house. What the hell's going on? I started getting really angry. One message I sent out, probably one of the last ones I sent out, was tell those guys I don't remember dying and I don't remember getting life. I may come home one day.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
You know? So I threw a threat out there. You know what I mean? Like a wake-up call, a threat, whatever, how they want to interpret it. But I was steaming at this time. You know what he's doing? I got no commissary. I'm not going to tell anybody to put money in my commissary. Who am I going to put? Nobody's getting money. I got to tell women to put money in my commissary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Now I'm finding out, you know, that Frankie DeChico's uncle is the captain. And I call him Uncle George. Like I said, I know him from birth down, married his niece.
Yeah.
You understand? So even though I'm not married to the niece, he's still a captain in our family. He goes in, from what I understand, there's the message. When he goes in and asks him, the fuck he's doing to my nephew? Because he's hearing it more than I am. He's in the street, you know?
Yeah.
They tell him, mind your business when it comes to him. So there's the message I get back, because I sent him out a message to go see Sal Romano with the stocks. Where's the stockman? I need money. You know, well, the guys are millionaires out there. Where's the money? Nobody wants to go to my house. No, everybody's afraid to go to my house because they were told to stay away. You understand?
Yeah.
I got guys I know since 16 years old that are going around trying to collect my money without sending me a message.
Yeah.
Say, Michael, I'm on the spot. They're collecting the money. They threaten them to go get Michael's money wherever it is and bring it in.
Yeah.
I'm getting physically stripped of all my resources, Bugada, family resources, and my own personal money.
Yeah. And
How am I supposed to feed families? So I sent a message out. What am I supposed to do? I got families to feed out there. Know what they said?
What?
Tell your girlfriend go on welfare.
Oh, that was cold. That was a cold shot. And your whole crew's in jail.
I'm getting, right? Tell her to go on welfare. Oh,
yeah.
Really? Okay. I'm really pissed now, right? I'm calling for lawyers to come up, sending messages out to these guys. Like I said, one of the last messages I sent was, I don't remember getting life. I don't remember dying. After that message, a couple of weeks later, Madeline comes up with the baby, and a couple of my friends were driving her up to the visits and waiting outside for her to come. Come out.
Yeah.
There's a fellow named Noel Monica. His father was a wise guy. I took him out of another crew and put him with me when I became a captain. This guy's father was in my grandfather's crew going back to the early 1900s. They were their best friends. So I have a long history with them. So when this kid comes up, driving my girlfriend at the time, he tells her a message, which I don't want no message going to women. But
Yeah.
he told her this message anyway. He says, tell Michael that Noel's father said, I don't know why they're doing this to him. Meaning me. Why the street's doing this to me. He heard that I was on the shelf. They should have never put him on the shelf. Something to that language. So when she's telling me, I'm saying, what'd you just say? She said, I don't know. Noel told me to tell you his father said, son, it's not right what they're doing to you. About something with a shelf. I don't know what he's talking about. I looked across the room. I seen nothing. I said, get up and go home.
Yeah.
Oh, I get up and go home. I just got here. Get up and go home. Gets up and gets the baby. Kid's screaming. She gets out. She's upset. What are you throwing me out for? You know, I went in the room. I cried for 4 hours.
Man.
You know what I said? They broke me. They put me on the shelf. Well, what did I do? And that was a tipping point what broke me. It really broke me. It broke my spirit. You know,
I can imagine.
It's the main thing. There is no excuse. The money was nothing. Gary, believe me when I tell you.
Yeah.
The money only got me mad. You know what I mean? The money only got me mad.
Yeah, you can always get more money.
Yeah, you know, again, that would have worked itself out. I would have had some other people that I know give bring money to the people that needed it to eat.
Yeah.
You know, and pay bills. That would have been no problem. I had one guy wanted to pay for my lawyer. I told him, I don't want your money. I want my money. It was early on. I didn't know he knew that they would, you know, they were holding back all my money, but they must have known it. I never knew, you know, they were going to do it at that level, that grander scale. Shut me out of every penny. I couldn't even afford commissary. So again, that's not an excuse.
Yeah.
Believe me, yeah, if I ever wrote a book, it would be, there are no excuses, because there is no excuse when I'm flipping, no matter what I just articulated to you.
Yeah.
I never should have flipped, no matter what. I should have took the pain. You know, but at that moment in time, I'll concede, at a very, very, very weak moment in my life where you took every fiber of my body and just ripped it out of my DNA. Everything that I knew about that life, the way we talked about for the last hour or so, is you took that all away from me.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm in prison is because of that life. That's something I did. Something I was ordered to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Whatever I was instructed to do was for the family. And I was willing to take that burden and go back to trial. The other trial I was facing 70 years if you add up all the counts.
Yeah.
Minimum 20 with just an academic count if I got convicted. I didn't flip in that case. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and if anybody wants to go back and go on the computer and look at all my pictures that come in that courtroom. I'm laughing at every one of them, having a great time. I thought you can make a movie out of that trial. 4 months I was on trial to the day. How many people stayed on trial for 4 months every day?
Really?
You know? So, again, no excuse. I'm just telling you, I had a weak moment. It broke my heart, and I decided, I said, fuck this, I'm out. They want to do this to me? How can you do this to me?
Yeah, really.
So, and again, I regret it. I should never have done it. But that was the moment at that time. I could sit here today as a free guy, strong again, mentally, physically, and everything else, you know. I could be blaming everybody. I blame nobody for cooperating. I blame me. Because under no circumstances I should have cooperated.
Yeah, well.
But that was the time at that time, and that's what happened.
It is what it is, as they say. And you know, that was that then, and this is now.
Yep.
A guy can only take so much sometimes, and
yeah, you know what? And I prided myself on being part Viking. You
yeah.
know what I mean? At that time, and you know, saying, "Bring it, I'll take it."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bring it, I'll take it. But this was something that was never in my mind. And you know, I talked to my now wife. She stayed with me, thank God. With
Yeah.
the kid till today. She could have ran away. Took the money, took the house, took whatever it was, and stayed away from me. Kid was only 2 years old, started to life. We had these conversations at times, and she says, "What did you expect?" I says, "I expected them what I told you. If I die, or if I go to prison, you'll be taken care of the rest of your life. Don't worry about it."
Well.
And so my ex-wife thought the same thing, because I told her that when I met her. Don't worry about it. You'll be taken care of.
Yeah.
I never thought my brothers, all of them, would be able to shun me. Even on the sneak, they didn't go take care of what they had to take care of. I had 3 tattoo parlors. Guy came to the house. You know what he bought in 1 week? $25.
That was an insult.
I told him he should have threw it right in his face.
Yeah, that was an insult.
He said, "You're going to give me $25?
Yeah.
And he was a good kid. I got him a job, and he wasn't a wise guy. He was one of the guys that I put the place to. He was on the spot. He probably was mortified.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, you know, this is that life. And shame on me for not realizing it and saving enough money and putting away enough money for something bad to happen.
Yeah.
But Gary, again, the people could be skeptical. But, you know, he's just saying things. And again, I don't hold no grudges with anybody today.
Yeah.
But if I had in my mind to flip, I have a couple $1 million put away.
Yeah.
I would have left with a couple $1 million. I would have been prepared.
Yeah.
So, Gary, I had a suicide attempt.
Yeah, I saw that.
I had a suicide. I ate 60 pills. When I got on the bail, after I flipped, they wanted me to go out the street, record people.
Yeah.
I was so sick, I went to the psychiatrist. I told her, I need 2 months supply. They gave me 60 pills. That night I went upstairs. I took all 60 to kill myself. I wanted to die a good soldier. I didn't want to. That's the guy that wants to flip. No. That's the guy who was being selfish and thinking about himself. I couldn't handle that.
Yeah.
I tried to fucking kill myself.
That was another bridge too far, asking you to wear a wire, going back out and wear a wire on your friends.
Again, when I got off the elevator to the prosecutor's office, I wanted to throw up all over them.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I knew what I did, but I knew once I got off that elevator, I was in trouble. I know that they would put it out there that I walked in that office, and my life was over.
Yeah. At
that point in the street, and so it took me a while longer after I tried to kill myself. They brought me back to MCC, put me in that torture unit. Several months later in March, I decided to cooperate. My girlfriend would come up and say, "Look at you, you're down to what? How much you weigh now?" A skeleton. And what do you want to do? You want to die? Yeah, look at your son. You let this kid be fatherless?
Yeah.
And that, again, another weak moment, and then I decided to fully cooperate because I stopped when they put me on a bed and tried to kill myself. I stopped cooperating. That's just let me die in here, and that's it. Through hard, giving me a lot of guilt.
Yeah.
Because it was a lot of self-loathing, Gary. You know what I mean? And I didn't like myself. I didn't like myself for a very long time. Even when I got out of prison, I didn't like myself. Because you build up a legacy. Your family build up a legacy. Whether it's a dirty legacy or whether it's a criminal legacy nonetheless is something that I wanted to do. My whole life. Yeah, that was a very tough time.
Yeah,
very, very tough time.
Michael, you're like a guy that I once knew that was in a smaller level, but he was a pretty successful, had a pretty successful little a criminal operation, shall we say, but he was smart and he was charismatic and great native intelligence and we'd get together. I tried to get him to tell me stuff, and he really wouldn't. He was trying to pick my brain more than he probably learned more from me about how law enforcement works than I learned from him. But we were constantly picking each other's brain, and you kind of enjoy and get some kind of mutual admiration for each other, mutual friendship. And I told him once, I said, dude, if you would take all that intelligence and organizational ability and your brain and put it into something legitimate, you could make a good living, man. And he said, that wouldn't be any fun. So you're one of those guys, Michael. If you'd start out early and taken
I'm humbled by your assessment.
Native intelligence you've got, you could have done okay, but it is what it is. Okay, we've been here quite a while. I've held you up quite a while. Someday I wouldn't mind getting back in touch with you and talking about more in detail. Like I got some questions about this whole thing about the assault on Curtis Sliwa, and that's like crazy if you ask me. But interesting thing. Would you be amenable to that someday?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely.
Great.
Look, Gary, like I said, my life is an open book. I testified more than anybody in history. Not proud of it. It's just a fact. Every time I get up there it was disaster, but anything you ask me, it's been said already.
Okay.
So there's no new revelations on my end that I'm disclosing. So if there's people out there that can learn something from this or get an insight of what really goes on in my brother's supposed lives, because I really believe they were my brothers.
Yeah.
100%. Even the guys I didn't like, I treated them as what they were. Cosa Nostra.
Yeah, I understand.
You know what I mean?
Yep, I know what you mean.
So thank you so much. And if you have anything further, just give me a call and we can.
Okay, Michael. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Okay, wiretappers, that was a most interesting call. Mikey Scars DiLeonardo. And he gave me kudos on how I said that name, if you remember, early on, which is unusual for me. I appreciate you listening in. I hope you like this and look forward to another session or two with him. And hopefully he's going to get the word to Sammy the Bull Gravano and we'll get an interview with him. Now, that would be pretty cool. My public service announcement, if you are a veteran and you believe you have problems that might be from PTSD connected to your service time, in particular, call the local vet center, which everybody's got one in a large city. And if you're not in a large city, call your VA hospital that you probably have already gone to for different things. Or there's a national hotline, 1-800-273-8255. This is not a VA hotline, so when you get on there, press 1 if you're a vet. And you can go to www.ptsd.va.gov. That website has a lot of resources on it. So spouses and if you're a brother or a parent or something of somebody that may have some problems, why that'd be a valuable resource for you to learn a little more about this problem. Don't forget to hit me up on my Venmo app, buy me a cup of coffee or a shot in a beer. Several people have done that. I've given credit before. I need to make up a list and give some more credit one of these days. I haven't done that. I'm stuck in here with the coronavirus. I don't have it, but I'm stuck in here doing interviews. I'm getting ready another 20 minutes. I've got another interview coming up. I've been doing 3 today, and then it'll take me another week to edit them. But I'm going to be ready. When this thing's over, I'm going to be ready with a lot of podcast in the can. Don't forget about my movie, Brothers Against Brothers, the Spiro Sabella War. Don't forget about Gangland Wire. Both those documentaries are available on Amazon for $1.99. If you make a donation, I will send you the original DVDs, $25 or more. I'll send you the original DVDs with or at least one of them for $25. You give me more, I might throw the other one in. Or my book, Leaving Vegas, How FBI Wiretaps Ended Mob Domination of Las Vegas Casinos. And don't forget about my Mob Tour app. You want to take a mob tour of Kansas City from your comfort of your home, wherever you are in the world? Why, get that app in the iTunes store. Good evening, Wiretappers. Music provided by our good friend and super fan from Portland, Oregon, Casey McBride. Thanks, Casey.